Hey everybody, it's Mr. Mansager. So, at this point, you should have your maze and your character all ready to go and ready to be programmed. So, I've got Blocky here, and I've got him as a sprite, and I've also got my costumes for Blocky. You may have a different number of costumes or none at all. That's fine. I'm going to show you how you start to move your character around the maze. So what you need to do is go to your scripts and make sure you have your character, your sprite selected that we're going to move. And the very first thing that we have to do is make sure that we have a loop that runs over and over and over again, because what's going to happen is our program is going to be listening for different keystrokes. We're going to use the arrows to move our character around. And so that it keeps listening, it has to loop over and over and over again. So go to your control category and drag out a forever loop. A forever loop will keep repeating until we tell it to stop. And in that forever loop, we are going to program our 4 directions. So what we need to do is make sure that we have a if-then statement. And that's also in the control. So basically what this says is if something happens, then do something. All right, so what do we need to have happen? Well, we need to be listening for a keystroke. So in the sensing area, we are going to be listening for a key being pressed. So right here we have key space pressed, then do something. But we don't want it to be a space. We want to use our direction. So the first direction that I'm going to do is up. So I'm going to change that key to the up arrow. So if the up arrow is pressed, what are we going to have happen? Well, we're going to move Blocky. So we're going to motion. And if we're going up, remember in the coordinate plane, Y is up and down, X is left to right. So if we're going to go up, then we're going to have to change our Y by a certain number. Now, what this number is going to determine how many steps it moves every time you press it. So for now, I'm not going to do 1. That's really slow. I'm going to make it 3. But you can experiment with this. It'll change the speed of how fast your character moves. So when the up arrow is pressed, I'm going to increase the Y by 3, which means I should go up. The other thing I want to do is change my costume to having Blocky look up. So to do that, I have my costumes here, and I have Blocky up. In my scripts, I'm going to go to looks. And this has a block here that says switch costume. So I'm going to put that first. So first it's going to switch the costume to Blocky up, and then it's going to change it by 3. Let me put that in my forever loop. Now when I press the forever loop and it lights up, that means it's running. So let me press my up arrow. There he goes. Now if I try to go any other direction, nothing's happening. So I got Blocky going up. Let's try to make Blocky go down. So I'm going to turn off my forever loop by clicking on it. And now instead of making this drag all these things out again, I'm actually going to copy or duplicate this group right here. So if I click on it while holding down the control key or right-clicking on a mouse, now I only click and let go, I should get this menu. I'm going to do duplicate. Look at that. I have a complete duplicate. I'm going to put it underneath. But right now I have exactly the same thing happening. I need to change my key to the down arrow, and I need to switch my costume to Blocky down. See, this is why it's really important we name our files so that I understand which costume goes with which direction. And now, instead of changing my Y by 3, I want it to go the other way. So I need to make it -3. So now, whenever I press the down key, Y is going to go down by 3. Let's try it. Click on the forever loop, press the down arrow. Look at that. Now he's looking down. Looking up, looking down. Pretty cool, right? So the only thing I have to do now is do right to left. So once again, I'm going to control, click on it, do duplicate, and I'm actually going to do change this one. Let's go to the right. So I'm going to change the key to the right arrow. I'm going to switch the costume to blocky right. And now instead of changing Y, I'm going to click and drag this out of here. I'm going to go back to my motion. What do you think I need to add? It's not Y goes up and down, X is left to right. So let's do change X. If I'm going to the right, I'm getting bigger. I'm going to change it by 3. Now, I'm going to control click on this one, duplicate it, drop it in, change my arrow to the left arrow, change my character to blocky left. Now, to go the other way, I have to go -3. Let's try it. I should be able to move in all 4 directions. Click on forever. There we go to the right. There we go to the left. Notice that Blocky is looking in the direction he's going because I'm switching the costume each time I press it. He's going pretty fast too. So now you should be able to move your character around your maze. Bye!